What is good? What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to Boo TV. Thank you for joining. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell your wife, tell your family members we out here. Tell them come through, subscribe, get in on some of this action. You feel me? All right. So one problem I have with the media is they're knack to be completely inconsistent in their energies towards players, right? And the media likes to pick who their heroes are and then pick who their villains are and beat up on these players. But when other players have the same kinds of games or performances as the player that they beat up, they don't keep that energy consistent. And vice versa for good performances. That is my problem. And we all know about how they absolutely, every single fucking day, pummeled Russell Westbrook. Even games that Russell would play good last season, when Russell would have good games or great games, not a peep. Not a peep. If you're on one hand going to bash this man for when he plays bad, when he plays good, you better recognize him for that too. But they rarely, ever did. Never did. Or at most, they might have lightly touched on it. So recently there was a Lakers game, preseason game against the Kings. All right. The quote-unquote big three played for the Lakers, right? Now, what I'm about to say has nothing to do with my energy that I'm coming with has nothing to do towards LeBron James, the person or the player. It has to do with the media portrayal and the narrative they like to create. All right. So after the final buzzer rang or ding or buzzed, whatever, you look at LeBron James' stats for the game in the box score. LeBron James was 0 for 7 from field goal range, 0 for 2 from three-point range, 0% on his field goal percentage across the board. Finished with 4 points off free throws. Now, normally, I don't care. It's the preseason. I don't care. You're getting warmed up. You're getting greased up. LeBron James is a super veteran. He knows what he's doing. I'm sure LeBron James will be fine. No reason to critique it. At all. Who cares? However, for that same exact game, if that exact stat line that LeBron had was Russell Westbrook's stat line sitting in the box score for that game, we would not have heard the end of it from the media, from the morning TV shows. They would have took that preseason game and bashed Russell Westbrook for that stat line and a seamlessly meaningless preseason game. But we didn't hear a peep about it on LeBron James' side. That is the problem I have. Not only was that not Russell Westbrook's stat line, but Russell Westbrook actually had a good game. Russell Westbrook came out with energy, shot 2 for 3, almost 67% from field goal range. All right. Didn't attempt a single three-pointer. He made some great passes out there. Had lots of energy. But not a peep. Had the box scores been completely reciprocated, flipped, the narrative would have been completely different than the crickets that we actually heard about the player performances. We heard crickets. And they didn't want to say nothing about LeBron James' poor performance, and they didn't want to say nothing about Russell Westbrook's encouraging performance. But had those been reversed, we would have been all hell LeBron James and get the fuck out of here, Russell Westbrook. You already know. And then the other thing, I love watching these post-game pressers in the locker room or whatever. Because then you see a graphic like this. You see a graphic like this. And my problem with this graphic right there is because they're just showing his total number of points, 4, on 4 made free throws. But they're not showing the field goals attempted and the field goals made. They never do that with LeBron James when he has a bad scoring performance. They rarely do that with LeBron James because they protect this man. The Bronsexuals and all these media members that are closely connected with LeBron James and Clutch Sports and want to protect his legacy, they never, when he has bad shooting games, ever, rarely, well, they're two different things, but you know what I mean. Show those field goals attempted and the field goals made. Now, if this was Russell Westbrook who had that same performance, that little stat line that they're showing on the TV right there would not say 4 points on 4 made free throws. No. That little thing would say 0 for 7 from field goal range and 0 for 2 from 3-point range if Russell Westbrook's name and picture is right there. You already know. This is why I hate the media. I hate all these Bronsexuals. I hate all these people that are going out of their way to protect this man's career on a game by game. Like, this isn't necessary. LeBron James is great on his own. Players have bad games. It's normal. But they go out their way to try to push this different narrative and only give you half truths or no truth at all, and try to paint a certain picture for certain players, but are quick to not keep that same energy for the other player. Now, if we're going to do this, if we're not going to show your field goal percentage or your actual made attempts, fine. But keep that same energy for the other players like Russell Westbrook. That's my problem. The media picks and chooses. Picks and chooses. Picks and I can't stand it. So I knew it. Before the game, I watched the game. And I was like, well, okay, it's like, LeBron James didn't really do much. But I knew it was going to happen. I was like, watch this. They're not going to show. They're not going to show all his missed shots. That he didn't make a single field goal. He didn't make a single 3-point field goal. They're not going to show it. Sure enough. And I chuckled. I was like, but if it was Russ, they would have been stomping this man into the ground. Stomping him into the ground. If that was his performance for a meaningless preseason game. And I'm not guessing that would have happened. I know that would have happened. They are literally salivating, chomping at the bits, waiting for the first Russell Westbrook bad game so they can talk about it and over-exaggerate it. It's ridiculous. As much flack as he caught for turnovers last year, he didn't even lead the league in overall turnovers. He didn't even lead the league in turnovers per game. He wasn't number one in both of those areas. But the players that were, their name was never even mentioned from not taking care of the basketball. Those players weren't even mentioned. They weren't catching that same kind of heat. They absolutely weren't catching that same kind of heat. Last season, in the regular season, Russell Westbrook shot better from field goal range than Steph Curry. But ain't nobody was bashing Curry like that. And I'm the type of person as you got to watch the game. I want to watch the game. I want to take everything into context. But the media doesn't do it. When watching it doesn't fit their narrative, they lean on statistics when it fits their narrative. But when the statistics don't fit their narrative, they won't talk about it. And for me, I'm always statistics into context for everything. Watch the game, understand what's going on, what kind of system, what kind of outlying factors are there that can affect statistics in some kind of way, and let's take all this information, put it together, and come up with a sound conclusion. They don't do that, man. Whatever fits their narrative, they change whatever variables they're willing to accept and not accept to fit their narrative conveniently. Anyway, that's all I have to say about it. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. Would love to hear your opinion. And bronsexuals are welcome here. I don't hate LeBron James. I have LeBron James in my top 5 players of all time. It's the bronsexuals that I have a problem with. And the media going out of their way to protect this man and not keep the energy same for other players. And Bron was more or less an example, but there's other players. But the bronsexuals do exist. Absolutely. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace. We out, baby.